that get on here complaining that how y'all have to go back working a 9 to 5 because you started hauling and spending money like your ass is Dwayne Wade or some shit. Y'all start getting paid from these social medias, and then it's like everything just goes out the window and you just start feeling like you above everything as far as finances. Why, if you starting to get a $4,000 check, you think, oh, let me go get me a high rise in an expensive ass city that you probably paying close to that $4,000 check that you're getting or more, trying to keep up with the Joneses. I really don't understand that. Help me understand that. This girl just got on here talking about how she was making $60,000 from TikTok. I think that's a lot of damn money for each month. How do you blow that much money? And now you're talking about now you got to go back working a 9 to 5. Are y'all just dumb? Are y'all dumb? How hard is it to stay down until you can stack up some extra money? Like, and nobody's saying not to go, get you a new car, say if you don't got no car. Or go get you a used car because your car that you got is not properly working. Nobody's saying not to do those things or to go and put yourself in a better living situation. But it's like y'all get this extra little bit of money and y'all think y'all just overly rich now. Like, and then when shit starts slowing down, y'all looking like, who the fuck done did it?
It's very easy for people that's never been there to talk about it, but I'll tell you that most people got to get it out of their system. And the window for most creators, which a lot of people get smitten by the money, but the window for most creators is pretty short. Like, there's been creators that has blew up, one-hit wonders, people that went viral, and now they got to get a regular job. And let me be clear, there's nothing wrong with getting a regular job, but I remember when, and a lot of y'all have been following me on my YouTube journey for an extended period of time. Even now, I'll probably spend less than 5% of my income that I generate. And I'm going to be here forever because I understand the game and I also understand where the money is. But I've seen a lot of people burn out. I've seen a lot of people live the lifestyle. I've seen a lot of people, like, it's no different than a person that's working a 9 to 5 and start making $100,000 a year. More than half of everybody that make over $100,000 a year is still living paycheck to paycheck. So, for a lot of people, and I had the opportunity to make a lot of money when I was younger and then blow it and then go broke and then get money again. And so it's no different than most people. You start seeing the money, you don't understand taxes. It's just like NBA players, ball players, rappers. It's the same thing. So people don't always look at things from a business perspective because their experiences, they just get money. They're not used to generating that type of revenue, whether you're making an extra $2, $3, $4, $5, $6,000, or you're making a $60,000, or you're making $100,000, or you're making $250,000, or you're making $500,000 a month. And I know a lot of y'all say, man, that's impossible. No, it's very, very possible. I promise you, but you have to work it like a job, A. And then B, you got to understand that it may not be there forever, right? So the smart people, to be honest with you, would allocate a lot of money. But I'm going to get into that in a minute. But I will just say that a lot of people like her, which, I don't know her, but I'm just speaking to what it is she's speaking to. A lot of people will say that they will do something, but you don't know what you would do until you're in that situation.
You did it. You did it. I say all this to say, y'all get on here and be fumbling hella bags. Hella bags. And it be pissing me off because certain opportunities was given to the right people. Motherfuckers ain't fumbling that.
Cap. 98, 99% of most people is going to do the same thing. 98 to 90, even the most business savvy people, they're going to want to buy a crib, they're going to want to buy a car, they're going to do all of these things, and they not buying it cash. They're going to do the same thing that everybody else do. And everybody says that, oh man, they giving it to the wrong people. Cap. I just don't believe you because I've seen it happen to the same people that said that, and then they went back and they did the same thing.
They not. But y'all, especially in this economy, I don't know what the hell y'all be thinking.
Did y'all see that video of that girl asking how all the OG influencers were making $30,000 to $50,000 a month and now they're broke and e-bagging on TikTok? Like, what happened?
I don't even know who y'all consider OG influencers. I consider OG influencers people from the early 2000s, but those was my OGs.
to all that money. So as somebody who accumulated over 2.5 million subscribers on YouTube back in 2015, and I was literally living in LA, so I witnessed a lot of this, I'm going to give you guys the breakdown on what happened with that money. I can't speak for everybody, obviously, but just what I've seen. When I moved out there, I thought I was pushing it with my $2,000 one-bedroom apartment, but I had people living in the same building, just at the top floor. I was on the third floor, but they were at the top floor paying $20,000 a month. And then I had some friends that lived in mansions just for the sole purpose of wanting to be able to throw parties and have people come over and make content in there. Literally paying people's yearly salaries, like $30,000, $40,000 a month just to rent this huge house. So for those of you that were also wondering, like, why do a lot of these influencers have big houses but they're fucking empty? Not even joking, to get some good quality furniture in there, it's gonna cost you like $500,000. And don't even get me started on their Uber ego. It's like people reach a certain amount of followers and all of a sudden they can't use Uber X. Ew, we can't pull up to this party in a Prius. Order a Uber Black. Why would we spend $250 to pull up to a party when we could spend $19.99? Half the cars that you see these people whipping around are rentals, and they're spending like $300, $500 a day just to whip it around and try to act like they're somebody they're not. Babe, just because you hit 200K doesn't mean you need to go and get a C300 from Mercedes. Like, it's okay. You can drive your paid off Toyota. Maybe 1 out of 10 of my friends actually cooked their meals at home. Everybody was constantly going out to eat or hiring private chefs. When you start making all this money, a lot of people tend to forget that it might stop one day. So they're still going on these expensive vacations, buying all this designer, even if it's starting to dwindle, because they literally got used to that lifestyle. Girl, when I tell you, the second I had enough money to buy a property, I bought one. I could only tell so many story times and do so many get ready with me's before people fucking lose interest, okay? I had to be realistic about it. But I could see how most 21-year-olds are not thinking about that. More or less, a lot of these people ran through their money trying to look cool. That's it. And now,
I mean, that's normal. They're young. You talking about young 20-year-olds. And I like to think of myself as really, really financially savvy. But I will tell you, when I was 20, 21, 22, I thought it was going to last forever. I was spending it like it was no tomorrow. And I ain't even talking about content creation, right? I was making a lot of money just working a regular job, making over $100,000 a year 20-something years ago. You know what I'm saying? 23, 24 years ago. But, again, I think that it's work ethic. I think that it's hustle. Maybe it's because I'm from Detroit. Like, I knew that it was going to come again, and I was educating myself. And so the next time that I start making a whole lot of money, and then when I generated a lot of revenue from a business perspective, all of it went to real estate, all of it went to stocks, all of it went to all of that. And so because I had got it out of my system and because it wasn't a big deal to me anymore, I was cool with staying down for the next 10 years and then basically leveraging every dollar that I get to reinvest back into myself. And I'm always looking for the next business play. But I will also tell you that that's a mindset, that's a mentality. It's got to be in you. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a lot. It's a lot. I can imagine it's a lot for a lot of people.
now they're begging for galaxies and cowboy hats. Cool.
Influencers are going broke. They're not able to pay their bills. They're not able to pay their mortgages. And people are mad at them. People are mad at them. And I honestly, a part of me, I think it's justifiable, right? To be like, you essentially squandered away millions of dollars and you have like nothing to show for it. There's been so many influencers coming out recently talking about like, I don't have that much money and I can't afford this. And like they went in on a house that was way too much money. Or maybe like at a time when you were like, I can afford this payment. But that doesn't mean you're going to be able to afford that payment forever, especially when you're working in something so finicky as like influencing in social media and things like that. But I feel like this is the perfect example of that most people don't have money problems, they have spending problems.
That's a fact.
And so many people are living paycheck to paycheck on all of the income scales. People are living paycheck to paycheck, and it is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. But a lot of the people that are like throwing hate their way and being like, honestly, I don't care, it's their fault, they squandered away all this money, they made millions of dollars and now they're broke, like that's not my problem. I get it and it's valid, but also like, let's look at your finances, because I bet you money a lot of these people, if we went through all of their finances and saw like what their budget should be, and not like a tight budget, because I did this myself. I went through and I was like, what are all my necessities, what would be like a good allowance for me that's like reasonable, blah blah blah. And I went through and then I was like, where has all this extra money been going? because it's not all hitting my savings account. It's just like gone. And I know that a lot of you are like that too, where if we went through your finances, there would be so much money unaccounted for, where I'd be like, where did this go? Where is all this extra money? And you would just be like, I don't know. Because we have spending problems. We have huge spending problems. It doesn't matter how much you make. If you don't get that together, if you don't learn how to spend money and spend it well and be like mindful about your money, it does not matter how much money you make. That's why they say, call it like the lottery curse. It's not a curse. Winning the lottery would be such a blessing. It's a curse because if you don't know how to manage your money and someone gives you a shit ton of money, you still don't know how to manage that money, and you will just blow it. You're going to blow it. Just like a lot of these influencers have blown their money. It's insane. It's really sad, but it's like, what more do you need to see? Like, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, like it's whatever. I don't even make that much money, so who cares? But if I started making a lot of money, then I would start. But no, you need to start those habits now. Facts. You need to start those habits now, and then hopefully, God willing, you start making more money.
It'll carry with you. Nothing can truly prepare you for a lump sum of money of over $1 million. I'll just tell you that. Nothing can prepare you for that. But again, I think that that's something that you have to learn over a period of time. You 18, 19, 20 years old, maybe even younger than that. A lot of these guys, you talk to a lot of NBA players, you talk to a lot of NFL players, they wait until they get their second contract before they actually start to think a little bit differently. So I don't necessarily hold it against them, but at the same time, I understand it, and you just got to diversify your income, and you got to invest vigorously to make sure that you protect yourself. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. Get into the Patreon. We go over this type of stuff. We really dig into it.